Hello friends, this is Amy and I am back making some fun items. And the first thing I want to show you is I am going to do a little tea dyeing with some, they're cotton towels, 100% cotton. It's like those kitchen towels. And although I didn't use these the tea stained towels in this video, although I wanted to, I will show them in a future video. But this is all you do is I suppose it was maybe 7 or 8 tea bags and just filled up my thing with water. And it was all hot, of course. I got it hot. And then I turned off the heat and then put in the towels. And then I just let it sit. And it probably was there about 15 minutes. And then I drained everything and rinsed it in cold water and hung it up. So that's how easy it is to tea stain towels. So let's get started with our first project. And the whole thing is we're making little pillows for fillers for a dough bowl. Now, if you don't have measuring devices, you could just use something like I did here and make some little square ones. And I just cut out a bunch of little squares from that little decor item. And I'm simply going to stamp on my cotton towels. And I'm using the Stays On ink. And it doesn't say it's recommended for fabric, but I'm thinking that they probably say that because, if you were going to wash it, it may not last. But these are just for decor, and so I'm going to use them. I actually like how they turn out with this, kind of a faded look. Fabric ink would be probably the best. If you have it, I didn't have it, but I do have this, so we're going to go with this. And I just went through my stamps and I picked out what I liked, and we're going to kind of go with the farmhouse look here with most of these. And these are those little letters that I've gotten from Dollar General a long time ago, and I do like to use them. They're like the perfect size. The only thing is you've got to be careful with, watch how this A turns out. Some of the ink got around, see at the upper part above the top part of the A. So you kind of have to watch that, and you can rub that off the ink if it ends up being that way. But now it's permanent. Anyway, moving on. I had this really cute, this is an old Stampin' Up die that looks like wood, and I thought, I'm going to just try and see how it turns out. And I just kind of did it backwards. I tend to do this with this die, this block, because it's so big. I usually put the paper on like this too. And so I'm just rubbing it on there and just let the ink saturate your fabric. I think it turned out really cute, and I thought this is going to make a really cute pillow. Now, these are some items that I occasionally have in my Etsy shop, and I am not sure if I have any on hand, but I will link my Etsy shop link so you can check it out and see. If not, I usually replenish, and because this is such a popular stamp. That one turned out pretty good. And now the difference with those were I didn't use a block. See, I just pressed it on there just to show you, and it definitely is better. Here's another one that I usually have in my store, the Etsy store. And again, I'm using this because it turned out so nicely just to press it down. I've been having a lot of fun lately, and that's why I've been neglectful with my videos, but I've been thinking and getting ideas lots of places, and I'm hoping you enjoy this one. Is that not the cutest little cow? I have sent out some thank you cards with this cow with a flower in its mouth. And I know I got that one at Hobby Lobby. And sometimes they'll have their stamps on sale, and you can get one in there. At that point, Hobby Lobby doesn't do the coupons like Joann's and Michael's does. But they do have certain things on sale at certain times. Now, because it's a cow with a flower, I wanted to try this other stamp I have it's got some floral, it's kind of like a lacy floral type stamp, and it didn't really turn out. I'll show you what it looks like here. Although I do kind of like it, but I still wanted those flowers. So I went to my stash. Now, my advice is to get stamps that have like, larger, maybe not so complicated as far as the details in it. Now I'm going to flip over to do some of the Chalkature inking. And now here's another thing I learned. This first one, I did the fuzzing. And then I learned that it's not really a good idea to do the fuzzing when you're working on fabric. So it kind of turned out a little blurry. But I tell you, when these things dried, they were so cute. It just didn't even matter how cute, if they got a little blurry. The trick with this is you want to have it wet enough, but not super wet. And it needs to go through that they're silk transfers. And then I highly recommend cleaning them right away. This one I'm going to use 2 colors. And so I'm just it's like you're trying to push it into the fabric without pushing too much. So it's definitely something, if you're a perfectionist, you'll want to practice on something. And so I'm using that pumpkin color, and then this is called Bark. And I had matched up these with certain fabrics, and that's why I chose the colors that I did. Not too shabby, I like it. And here's a give thanks, and now you can see I'm going directly to the fabric. No more fuzzing prior. Press it down, make sure it's nice and tight on there. And just using tips that I found, we're going to just put some of that ink right on the top and then just pull it down. Yeah, turned out pretty cute. This one I wanted to do 2 colors again, or did I? Maybe it's the next one. This one might be all brown. So yeah, I have been doing some fun things and just enjoying life, and I encourage you to, if there's something you want to do and you can possibly get the time or money to do it, because you won't regret it. That one turned out pretty good. This is the one I decided to do 2 colors. When they say take time to smell the flowers, it's true. When you have an opportunity, take the time, to do some of those things with your friends, family, or even just things you wanted to do by yourself, and have fun. I actually went to Stamp Joy down in Ankeny, Iowa, which is right there by Des Moines, and I really had a lot of fun. And I am a Stampin' Up demonstrator, but I still like other things. And Taylor from Tailored Expressions is very kind and genuine. So I do not regret going to that, and if you ever get a chance, I would encourage it. Now this is the last one that I'm going to make, and I would have had all these cute little pillows, but I ran out of my stuffing. But I'm just going to show you, these are just panels that you can get at a fabric store. If you wanted to add on something to the front of them, that would be cute. The first thing I did was I matched them up with some black fabric, and I found that the ones that had the light colored front looked great, but the black front didn't. So then I had some other fabric I lined it up with. When I bought that fabric, to me it looked like chicken wire, but it also looks like a beehive, and so I think they turned out really cute. Unfortunately, you're only going to get to see one because, like I said, I ran out of filling. But here I'm showing you just how to do the corners. Let your needle stay into the fabric, and then you can turn your fabric and sew it along. And then make sure you do a back stitch so you don't have any problems. And then when you're snipping, corner the edge like shown. That way there isn't any bulkiness when you inside it out. And then just trim it. Take your time, it's just fun. It might be a new hobby that you like to do. Here's the one with the moo. And then I'm just using my scissors. You could use something that would help you poke out those corners. And then go ahead and stuff it and push the stuffing in a little further so then you can have a little edge that you can finish off sewing. You can do it by hand, but I chose to do it on my sewing machine. And if you need clips or pins, you know, that would be totally acceptable. I just kind of went with it. So again, do your back stitch. And then since they're kind of little, it was a little bit, I had to push it through to get it to start again. But once it goes great. Try not to sew into your words. And since this was my first try, I did learn a lot about, you know, maybe giving them a lot more, well, not a lot, but a little bit more fabric to sew it together rather than have it so close. But here's how they turned out. There's little moo, and there's the back of it. And there's our truck, and I just kind of think of wood when I think of those old trucks. And there's some pretty fabric for that one. So this was really fun. I also want to try doing some printing through the through my printer. I never thought that that would work, but apparently it does, and that's another thing I'm going to be doing in the near future. That chicken is just cute, isn't it? And then here's the panel, how that one turned out. So I hope you enjoyed this video and look forward to more. I'm going to try and get back to my weekly videos now. You have a wonderful week and take care, and don't forget to smell the flowers or the roses, whatever it is you choose to smell. Take care and, enjoy life. Bye-bye, my friends.